Sorry, I'm just getting used to this new methodology. I'm the Secretary of Stereo Palmeira. I'm the Secretary Laura Pasqua. We have them with us already. Dr. Colin Kirk, Head of the UNICEF and Monitoring Evaluation Office. Dear colleague Tomo Hazumi, Director of the UNICEF in the Philippines. Also distinguished Dr. Harisam Hazapan, Senior Advisor for AME, Senior Advisor for Government of Malaysia and Vietnam. Dear friends and partners in government, academia and civil society, colleagues from the United Nations, donor community, distinguished guests. Good morning. It is indeed both a pleasure and a privilege to speak before you today in the occasion of the Second Monitoring Evaluation Network Forum. As a knowledge broker, the UN gives a premium on the value of knowledge generated through evaluation. Evidence-based decision and policy making drives change, innovation, and broad-based development. Through our long history of fruitful partnership with government and the academia, numerous knowledge projects resulting from evaluation of various programs and policies have been generated and made available to the public in general. The UN concretizes its continued commitment to support the development of knowledge management systems in the country through the new UN Development Assistance Framework for the Philippines from 2012-2018. The provision of support to further build national capacity in knowledge management is a key component in development assistance along the UNDAP's major outcome areas, addressing universal access to quality social services with focus on MDGs, decent productive employment for sustained green growth, democratic governance, and resilience toward disasters and climate change. I cannot do justice to carry on without, before that, would like to thank you in recognizing the role that UNICEF has played in the monitoring evaluation system and also making UN looking good. Actually, UNICEF has been the leading agency in performing that and influencing all of us. So from time to time, you see some agencies advocating some issues, but that's something that UNICEF has done very well. Is really since as early as the 80s, really putting together a very strong book of knowledge and influencing countries, other UN agencies, and really making definitive influence in all of us that are dealing with public policy. So it's very well done, Dr. Robert, that the NEDA is articulated with the UNICEF, and it is in very good hands. I hope this partnership carries on, and we go towards, we look forward to the third network. Let me share with you briefly my thoughts on the theme and objective of the year's M&E Forum. First is on the relevance of this forum in promoting uptake on evaluation results into government policy areas. Very clearly, the theme and objective of this forum reflect the overall vision of attaining inclusive growth as set out by the Philippine Development Plan. The same vision upon which the UNDAP and also many other donors and cooperating actors in the country are anchored in supporting the DDP. The statement of objectives laid out in the program for this forum also appropriately captures the major challenge relevant to the objective of utilizing evaluation as a tool for achieving development results, how data management and dissemination can be inclusive, and how evaluative knowledge can be optimally utilized in order to promote transparency and accountabilities are challenges faced not only by the M&E community, equally are challenges faced by policy and decision makers and other development practitioners. Challenges exist because there is a gap among program evaluation, policy formulation, and implementation. From this perspective, the participants of this forum will be engaged in very significant undertaking of pitching is into building the bridges that will close the gaps between evaluation policy design and implementation in the process to promote good governance. Second, and related to the first point, it is on reflexivity. As well as strive to sharpen our methodology on results-based management and in using MLE as an important tool for RBM, this venue provides an opportunity to engage in the application of RBM principles on the domain of knowledge and evaluation itself. We may then venture to construct the results framework from our MLE program, defining the outcome to be that of achieving optimally in the utilization of knowledge generated by evaluation into governance, policy, and practice. As we pursue into this outcome, we can certainly expect to find a different set of challenges arising from the dynamics of interrelations among players. As we all know, the literature abounds with material on the subject. Allow me to cite some highlights on this extensive knowledge of body of knowledge. There exists a host of intervening factors that determines the extent by which evaluative knowledge can be led to improve performance and accountability. As in a market situation, the choices made by the users of evaluation knowledge determines the degree and nature of its adoption. Primarily, these users are the decision and policymakers in government. And decision-making, as all we know, is not always a rational process. Rather, it is influenced by a range of elements, shaping the context within which government decision-making operates. The quality of evidence resulting from evaluative research is only one of them. Nevertheless, it also found that the way forward points to promoting platforms of interaction and dialogue between researchers and policymakers, and to the adoption of knowledge dissemination techniques that would influence the options in the public spheres. This forum is indeed a step in the right direction. The third point I would like to highlight is on participation. I subscribe to the idea that tools of evaluation are potent for good governance when it is in the hands of people themselves. I'm certain that such will be the subject of discussion in this forum. In the Philippines, we see many promising examples of how participatory approach on M&E can empower the people by creating a space of participation in undertaking community-based monitoring and evaluation. This approach has broadened the area of convergency between different stakeholders, and while creating a new set of challenges, these innovations also open up a wellspring of opportunity to promote accountability and transparency. My final point is on the challenges of the evaluation on the normative principles of development. Mainstreaming the principle of equity in its several phases in data collection and management also implies in the development of knowledge management systems that would enable us to monitor and evaluate our progress in advancing the normative principles of human rights, environmental sustainability, and gender equity. This is because the poor, marginalized, and excluded sector are the most vulnerable to human rights violation and environmental degradation. We have made significant strides in developing indicators and generating evaluation on the normative parameters of human development. However, there are much more to be done. We would like to congratulate the organizers of this forum for their very relevant theme and objectives, and for bringing together a multi-sectoral representation of partners and participants. I'm looking forward to the new bridges, both conceptual and relational, between evaluation and public policy, and implementation that everyone here shall all help to build. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Carvalho.